records and never condemns these behaviors is enabling abuse. We need to call out people who are a part of these institutions. And if you look up the hate group list in the United States, a lot of them are religious nonprofits, religious churches, or religious institutions. And many of them donated to Donald Trump's presidential campaign. You never know a leader until you research the people who give money to project a leader into power. Nobody gives money for nothing. Not $1 million anyway. Our country is run on people who are racist. Anyone who wears a Make America Great Again hat is borderline racist. Anyone who supports a racist leader is adjacent to racist. Anyone who supports the Republican Party is borderline racist. Because if you know how the Republican Party was started, it was started by racist, homophobic, and sexist people. The agenda of the Republican Party is usually racist, homophobic, and sexist. When Republicans want to control women's access to health care, which results in the death of the mother or the child or both, we have a problem. People hide behind patriotism to be racist. It's kind of funny how racist hate groups usually choose one of the colors on the U.S. flag to be their symbol. Christians chose white and blue to be the symbol of their flag. MAGAs chose red. It's not surprising that hate groups love red, white, and blue. It's easy to hide racism, homophobia, and sexism behind patriotism than it is to hide behind anything else. The worst racists in our country are probably the most patriotic and the people who fight for the nuclear family. The man who screams the loudest, protect the family, protect the sanctity of marriage, is usually the most raving racist. People like Trump are racist, sexist, and homophobic. Anyone who doesn't want anyone to have equal rights, bodily autonomy, and access to a safe environment or good, cheap medical care based on who they are and what they do is a racist. Florida is now trying to make it illegal for people to be called what they are. They want to charge people up to $35,000 for calling a homophobic or a racist person what they are. When a country makes it illegal to tell someone they're being racist, we are racist. The worst form of racism are people that treat you with what we call Christian love. If you've ever seen a t-shirt or a billboard that says there's no hate like Christian love, they're not kidding. The most raving racists in the United States hide behind religion, patriotism, women's anti-abortion laws, and protect the nuclear family. When people say they want to protect the sanctity of marriage, what they're really saying is, we want to protect the white male privilege. We don't want other people to have a slice of the good things that we as privileged white people endure. Make America great again. There was never a great time for anyone in this country unless you were white and straight. There is nowhere to go back to. If you're African American, Hispanic, or any other minority, America has never been great for you. How many people fought in World War II, came home and had to sit in the back of the bus because they weren't considered human or worse, subhuman. When an institution consistently supports the Bible, which in turn supports the worst parts of society, they're not a good group of people. Good people, kind people, can be racist. And you can't convince me that they're not white privileged. Even though there are a lot of nice people in churches, when you're a member of a group that constantly devalues and dehumanizes people who aren't white, cis, and straight, or male, you have a problem. Male and white privilege would cease to exist if people no longer were members of these kind of places. Hate groups would not have any power if there wasn't any members. The problem is people confuse patriotism, protecting the family, and protecting the sanctity of marriage as virtues. They are not. People who want to protect people from something are usually the people who need protection from these people. Any man who says he wants to protect a woman is the kind of man she needs protection from. And anyone who wants to protect a woman without her consent is a bad man. People like Trump, who says he's going to protect women whether they like it or not, is a misogynist. Any institution that is misogynistic, sexist, racist, white privileged, homophobic, queerphobic, etc., is not a good or admirable institution. I hope by the time I retire that less than half of the people in America are religious. Our country will never be great until we shed all the vices dressed up as moral decency. The way people behave makes you not want to celebrate patriotic holidays. And if I had the money, I wouldn't be in America anymore. Some days when I wake up, I'm embarrassed to be white because of the people in charge in this country. And I'm not the only person who feels like this. I've spoken with dozens of other people in California who feel the same. We need to eradicate racism, homophobia, sexism, and misogyny. We're not a great country, but we could be. We just have to decide that everyone is equal. And everyone is equal. But sometimes we don't want them to be. But we need to change that. And the wonderful thing about the last 3 generations is that people are more accepting of things that used to be illegal. America used to imprison people